A momentous night in Berlin 25 years ago. There was jubilation as Germans from east and west were reunited for the first time in nearly 3 decades.
On November the 9th in 1989, Germans celebrated here at the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin. The wall that had divided them for nearly 30 years was coming down. But as they tore at the brick with their hammers and chisels, what perhaps was harder to grasp was that the road ahead would bring many more difficult challenges.
What followed was an absorption of the economy of the East by that of the West.
You couldn't imagine that there would be no wall in Berlin, and then it happened. Unbelievable, really a miracle.
German Finance Minister Wolfgang Schäuble was a key figure in negotiating the terms of reunification.
Of course, we made, I don't know how many mistakes we made, but the biggest mistake would have been if we would not have acted. The economy of the former GDR was not competitive, because with a strong and free currency, they were not competitive.
This is one of the few remaining parts of the Berlin Wall.
Ben and Sabine were at school in the east of Germany when the wall came down. They described to me how the aftermath was felt in their communities.
Also, the industry collapsed, so within a very short time, more than 2 million people lost their work, and there was hardly any industry left in East Germany. So a lot of people had to move to West Germany and basically had to start from scratch, and also feeling all the time that they were second-class citizens.
This was a big mistake, I think, of the reunification, that it was said, okay, you had your try, you had your GDR, you had your socialist idea, but you obviously failed, and now you have to start all over again.
Few places was the pain more keenly felt than in Ben and Sabine's hometown near the Polish border.
Eisenhüttenstadt was set up in 1950, and people flocked here to take advantage of the accommodation and jobs on offer at the local steelworks. Once they'd arrived, many bought into the system because, quite simply for them, it worked.
The local steelworks dominated the town. Konrad Balzus got a job working there in 1966.
In erster Linie war es natürlich auch die Wohnung.
Initially, it was, of course, the apartment that attracted me. It is, of course, understandable that a young family wants to live in a new apartment, but the job interested me anyway, and actually I was very contented here at the start.
But the dismantling of communism in 1989 led to the dismantling of Eisenhüttenstadt. The steelworks were sold off and most of the workforce lost their jobs.
Das Zusammengehörigkeitsgefühl.
The feeling of unity was better before the wall came down. It's no longer as it was.
No part of German society, including these students in Berlin, would wish for a return of the wall. But many accept it could take another generation to close the gap it created. Tanya Beckett, BBC News, Berlin.